Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to continue to take a look at the alternate future of the world. So, it's been a while since I last uploaded this. With the last episode we saw in 1 hour long video where World War III happened and it ended with an Eastern Powers victory, I guess CSTO won. And I didn't really explain that well the peace treaty because the video was pretty long. So today I'm going to explain a little bit more of lore and also looking at the post-war world. And I think you guys saw the thumbnail. Basically, nothing will be ever the same. So let's just get it. First, I will want to check in Italy because Italy they didn't manage to take over the core Italian land during the war. They decided to leave Italy intact. They don't think they can be a danger. Instead, they decided to split Sardinia and Sicily away from Italy. They're both democracies. They're not controlled by anyone. They're just they just exist. Basically, they're just controlled. Just created this buffer states. They did not take Corsica, I believe, so this is the reason France didn't get punished. Spain lost a lot, and then still need to set up their governments. But basically, Catalonia will build a little bit conservatism because basically, because we're a little bit closer to the rest. So that's basically it. Peace treaty also saw Cyprus getting unified and all. I I explained what happened to Russia and basically the formation of the Eurasian Union, which wants to control all of Eurasia, and it basically does. Since they are pretty big, they expanded a lot. So we'll just take a basically what will happen is a lot. So let's get into the main thing, which is what happened to NATO. We can see the CSTO absolutely ruling the war, but did NATO get disbanded? The answer is no. NATO didn't get disbanded. People left, but now that the war is over and the US got a new president in like 2029, I think 2028, basically happens, but well, they got a new president. Let's just say that some countries decide to rejoin for protection against CSTO. The UK and Iceland join. We also see the Benelux decide that they should rejoin back. And the region because America got a new leader, they don't have that bad guy, so maybe they changed and they now got a kind president. They got a good president, at least for now. Basically, this is what is happening. You also see Germany joining back because they're kind of slightly scared of right. So see Denmark rejoining, Norway rejoining, and this is basically it. NATO lost the Cold War, but not really. They still got a bit of influence when also Poland decides to join. Libya got Malta, by the way. And I didn't call in all the temporary members. Physical CSTO at their peak, I guess, when they control the entire. Oh, and also Canada rejoins because they are a little bit scared. Italy kind of doesn't trust NATO. They're kind of scared of this. They decide they want to be neutral for now. They want to think to themselves before thinking of Europe, since Russia isn't interested in jumping it anytime soon yet. So everything goes good. France, France is having some problems. Spain feels abandoned by NATO. Portugal, Portugal is going to rejoin because there is their ally, the United Kingdom, since like the Middle Ages or something. Not only that, they also, oh wow, twin, come on. Going to take a while. Not going to cut this because I don't want to. Well, they rejoin. They still feel safe in this alliance now that everything changed. And CSTO is kind of angry that NATO is just popping back up. And yeah, they banned Finland from joining NATO, basically send them a new ultimatum to and they're forced to accept because they don't want already another world war that NATO will probably lose. What CSTO is rebuilding, but really the Eurasian Union is rebuilding through the propaganda and stuff saying we defeated the Western powers and changed the world order forever. Russia finally won, got what it deserved. But Gibraltar is controlled by the English, so I guess they are in NATO too. But now what is about to happen is not nice. Oh, by the way, I'm going to turn flags on for this one because why not? You can say that China is planning something. They aren't really satisfied of what happened in World War III. They like only got a small piece of Alaska, which is contended with the Eurasian Union. So they decided they want to defeat another NATO ally. And they're going to do it now. Because in the future they might get even powerful. Who am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about the Pacific Defense Treaty Organization, which is big. Indonesia was about to join that, but it's a little bit late, as we say. North Korean troops crossing the border, and also with Chinese help. North Korea didn't really do much in World War III. Well, China did do stuff, but they rebuilt it pretty quickly since they got a lot of population, a lot of stuff. Russia is still rebuilding, so they ain't joining this. Like they're supporting the action diplomatically. Other than that, not much really. The Chinese Navy is also going to go on and attack Taiwan, which which is actually going to. I sort of got this. Sorry. Taiwan is actually going to repel most of the attacks except for one Chinese landing over here in the city of Tainan, I think, and they're still existing. But this is going to be a hard war to fight. And the main objective of the CSTO is to just take South Korea and Taiwan and maybe weaken Japan, maybe weaken the Philippines, but they don't really want to fight Thailand. Oh, and we also got Myanmar. Wait. Well, the Myanmar rebellion is going to get invaded by the Chinese support Myanmar. And they're a little bit strong, with thanks to Chinese help, but Thailand is holding on, repelling everything. Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam, they're neutral. What happens is that Thailand is going to march and defend Myanmar. And now it's getting a little bit tough because the capital is already endangered. But then Chinese troops arrive and save the day, and basically ends like that. But Thailand is still an advantage. So the real situation is actually like this. Maybe this. They lost, but they're still strong. India is also pretty scared of what's going on around, and they're scared they might be next. So they still wait. China, after that, is going to win on land against Taiwan, which sadly cannot keep up with China, and they get invaded. One of the PDTO members has fallen. China has finally reunified Taiwan. The day this happened is going to become, of course, a national day. And also, this border, it's pretty unique border. I don't know why I'm keep bringing this up now, but I really like this border. Basically, four countries with each other: Kazakhstan, Mongolia, Russia, and China. So Kazakhstan and Mongol cannot meet each other because of China and Russia, but it's a cool border. And Mongolia is in the CSTO, so they're probably sending aid to China. Same for Kazakhstan, and they're supporting China in this action. So this is going to be used as propaganda. Look, guys, China is strong. We're going to win this. We got this. And now North Korea is losing. Yep. South Korea made an insane comeback, but they are not able to defeat fully North Korea. And Japan is focused on defending themselves because Russia and China are basically there now. The Philippines try to fight with the Chinese Navy, and they do pretty well, but China still has the upper end. This front is a little bit, weird. Otherwise, China is going to capture Jeju Island with their navy to just weaken the Koreans and make them look at what is going to happen soon. Korea is going to retreat a lot of troops, and the North Koreans are they survived once again and they made a comeback. Japan is saying, "Oh man, well, it seems like it's going to be a hard war." And also, China is getting ready for another naval operation. Their navy is insane. Like they did a lot of naval operations, they did a lot of stuff, and their navy is better than the Russian navy, the Russian navy, I guess. But now, basically, it's like 6 months. This war's been maybe 6 months. It's taking a while, and it seems like the CSTO is going to win. Maybe disband the PDTO, but we're not sure. That's not their objective. Their objective is to weaken it to make it sure that they cannot even counter. Now China is going. They have to do something because Thailand is back at it once again. They ain't stopping, and this time it doesn't seem like they're sending aid. They're sending some aid. The capital of Myanmar, which is like called Napidu or something, it's still holding on thanks to all of the help. but it might fall. But now there are coming a lot of reinforcements. Thailand is winning because that's not the primary Chinese front, so this is the reason they aren't really winning that. But they're probably next after Korea and Japan get smacked around stuff. Now we're like in 2031 maybe, and the Eurasian Union has decided that maybe they have to do something. So after recovering from from the war for a while, maybe 2032, I'm wrong, sorry guys. Recovering for a while, they're getting ready for what they are about to do, which is wait, what? Um, Kazakhstan is invading Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan is also too. Really? Did we need to actually jump Uzbekistan? Why? Well, yeah, the Russians naturally just wanted to jump Uzbekistan for some reason, maybe to connect their members better. Basically, Uzbekistan gets jumped. And after this, it seems like Central Asia is absolutely controlled by CSTO. And now the Eurasian Union is sending aid to China and helping them. And now, oh, China captured Japanese island after all. You in Japan is saying like they might need to Macam Dong Kong. They're scared for their life. This is why they're not doing anything. You didn't even join the PDTO. Philippines are still holding on, even though they're losing. They're still losing. Malaysia is kind of helping them all because Malaysia isn't doing much. They're helping Thailand and the Philippines, and that's really it. If Indonesia joined on time, but Indonesia now doesn't want to join because they don't really want to fight China yet, and they're still developing themselves. So, but now Japan is kind of retreating from Korea. They were going to see this because it doesn't seem like Korea can save themselves this time. They set the capital in another place, and they get to they almost get fully defeated, but they're still holding on barely. But it seems like it's about to end very soon. The doom of South Korea, which is not the country that had to fall. Japan cannot really rescue them because they're fighting for their life. And now the Eurasian Union is about to. They're ready. It's like 32, like May 8th. I don't know, but they're right. It's time. They land on Hokkaido and they officially join the war because CSTO is not like it's a defensive alliance. But if you're offensive, it doesn't really mean you need to join unless the leader of the alliance says so. Basically, the Eurasian Union is the leader, but also China is gaining a lot of strength. So keep that in mind. The whole Hokkaido gets taken by a big Eurasian army, and Japan decides that they do not want to fight this war, and they surrender. Not exactly leave the PDTO, but they just surrender. They decide that maybe this was not the best. They should have joined during World War III, so they maybe could have done something. But no, they had to live all of this alone. Well, after this, Korean troops are going and we see that there is Korea holding their last breath, but in the end, China is going to China is going to officially end South Korea. Another front has been won, and China did another massive naval operation, another good naval operation. North Korea is celebrating this victory. Korea has finally been unified. The PDTO has been absolutely defeated. But now it's going down now. Thailand, after this, decides that maybe they shouldn't fight the war, so they decide to surrender and they leave their ally to die basically. And now we got Myanmar unified under a communist government. Another unification day. Philippines and Malaysia are the only ones holding out. And the Philippines doesn't really want to fight us. They reinstate this after the North falls. China like 2000, maybe October, China did another successful naval operation after winning the Battle of the South China Sea. And after this, the Philippines surrender, and then Malaysia does too. The Great East Asian War, I guess we can call it, is over. The CSTO has won once again. They've won against one another ally. It really looks interesting. But now they're going to recover from these two big wars. And let's take a look at the peace treaty. So this is the peace treaty on land. Basically, what happens is that Korea gets unified under North. Hokkaido becomes Eurasian. Japan also loses some bit of island to China, which also annexes Taiwan. The Philippines has to pay reparations over to China. China gains Myanmar unifies and weakens Thailand. And now, no. But now we have to see what happens in the alliance layer. Because the PDTO is not banned from existing. Yup, basically Russia made them, Eurasia said they need to exist. China was a little bit angry because, they're challenger our order. They could be an enemy in the future. And yet they say to make them exist. Even they even if they got three members gone and two of them three of them weakened, all of them weakened, so Malaysia has to pay reparations. Despite this, still does exist, and not only that, but they expand. They gain in Cambodia, they gain in surprisingly Laos and Vietnam for the South China Sea. The PDTO is now, and also Indonesia decides that it's time, and they officially bro they officially bro dude officially they officially dude I'm going to try last time. Hold up, I can just do this, no need to panic. They officially join the PDTO, which is now scary, as we see East Timor deciding to join in. We see Singapore deciding that it's best for them to join in. We should also see Brunei joining. And now East Asia is truly unified. Well, they not join all at once, they join over time, but they are a challenge for the New World Order. Well, we're not ending the episode over here, because what else is going to happen is that, the US is having a little bit of trouble in keeping themselves. They disagree with what's going on, and I'm going, and they're angry because they don't have the superpower role anymore. They also lost some nukes that they had in Alaska and also Hawaii. What happened to Hawaii? Hawaii, yeah, it isn't American anymore. I didn't sign it in the peace treaty, but I didn't talk about it. But the Hawaii are Chinese now. This is what peace China and basically so lots angry because now they don't have the good influence anymore. They aren't a superpower. Yeah, sure, they got their own alliance, but they're in trouble. People are angry, and they just had the conservative government. Like it's this democratic thing is working, but it's not the thing the people want to. They want a strong man. And just keep that in mind that they want a people person who can do anything for their country and that can make them strong and that can make them thrive, like what Eurasia and China are doing. Spain is also feeling a little bit this. France is having a lot of problems. France is feeling left out. They're absolutely angry at how it went. And they're actually thinking. They're also getting a lot of strong man. The nigga is strong, so which can do stuff. Things are not getting better. France is falling off. Germany has got a lot of hatred, but they're still holding out because they're used to losing world war, so it's not really a big deal. Because like the region, this did punish Germany, but not that much. And France is a little bit more angry at NATO. Germany is a little bit less angry. Poland, Poland is absolutely furious. They are absolutely angry with how the World War went. And they probably ain't even staying in NATO. They're absolutely mad with how it went. Because the region didn't punish. Czechoslovakia, well, they're in the CSTO, but they might leave soon. They aren't because they were a temporary member of it. Turkey is a good tier situation. This is basically what's going on. Italy Italy is a little bit angry. We want to go isolationist for now. Hopefully it works out and it doesn't go badly for them. East African Federation is still holding on, but Congo. Oh yeah, I think this was supposed to be supported by NATO or something. Well, they thought we were to the left, and they got rightfully annexed, and they didn't even join World War III, which is probably what they did. They just got annexed now. So Congo is unified under a communist government. CSU is ruling the world even more. Nothing is stopping them from ruling this. And well, ladies and gentlemen, the video ends here. The world is entering into a dark age which will be hard to get out. But maybe there will be some hope. There is still some hope in the PDTO. There is still some hope in the new NATO, democratic government. It's not fully over yet. The second Cold War might be kind of over, but it's not a decisive victory. It's just a normal victory. Everything can change. See ya.